Hello and welcome to the Scramble. I'm Adrienne Lefebvre. Today is a special day for us here at the Scramble. With our known love of politics, we have something pretty exciting to share with you today. Very shortly, the undergraduates of UNLV will elect for themselves a president to be their voice at our university. This is an important time for our school, and we at the Scramble could not let it pass without hosting our very own face-to-face presidential debate. I am joined today by the two contenders and two undergraduate journalism students who will be asking objective and insightful questions on behalf of the rest of the undergraduate student body. You will remember Cassidy Blue. You are a junior, debatably a senior, in broadcast media studies, and we also have with us Heather Feyerberger, and you are a bona fide senior,
yes,
and you are in news and media studies and minoring in criminal justice.
Yep.
Thank you for being my panelist today.
Of course.
And now please welcome our contenders. We have Mr. Cole Turner and Mr. Mark Ciavola.
Hi.
Let's start by asking you guys, why are you running for president? Tell us a little bit about yourself and tell us why you're running for president. Cole, we'll start with you.
My name's Cole Turner. I'm in my second year here at UNLV. I'm a major in economics and political science. I'm running for student body president just because I have a love for the school. Loved it since I was little. I'm Las Vegan my whole life, so grew up around UNLV, and I want to see it as best as it possibly can, and I believe I'm the person to bring it there.
Well said. Mark?
Well, you know, it's been an honor and a privilege over the last year to serve as the undergraduate student body president. I think that over the last year we've been able to do a lot of good work, from saving students money to increasing scholarships to improving campus life to fighting on important issues like fee increases, tuition increases, parking issues, you name it. You'd be hard pressed to find an issue we haven't gone to bat on. And so very proud of what my team and I have done over the last year, and we're hoping to continue that. We do have a limit on 2 terms in CSUN, and so if I'm here and I can serve again, that's what I'd like to do.
All right. At this point, I'm going to turn it over to my lovely panelists. Cassie, would you like to ask the first question?
So this is for you both. How important is involvement with the Board of Regents and the Nevada Student Alliance?
Well, yeah, obviously it's a huge deal. Student body president is the voice for all students at UNLV, so what you have, the relationships you have with the Board of Regents and the NSA is a huge deal. There's times when the student body president is going to need to represent the students in all situations, whether it's the healthcare mandate that was going on right now that was removed from the agenda, or going up north to represent the students with the Nevada Student Alliance. It's the student body president's job to voice what is best for UNLV students.
So it's a very important topic.
Very important topic,
issue.
yes.
Right.
Yeah, I think it's very important. You know, the Board of Regents, they tend to be where most of the issues affecting students take place. You know, the legislature doesn't raise tuition, the Board of Regents does. The fees that are increased are raised with the Board of Regents. Mandatory health insurance as a condition of enrollment was something that we just fought against at the last Board of Regents meeting. So it's important to be there, it's important to be part of that discussion. And have relationships with those Board of Regents. You know, I began going to Board of Regents meetings before I was ever in CSUN, and that allowed me to sort of understand the bigger picture, fight on behalf of student issues even prior to being in student government. And since I've been student body president, have been to all of the Board of Regents meetings down here in Las Vegas. I've sent my vice president up north to represent students in my absence up north. And NSA is a little different. It's all the student body presidents around Nevada. It's important to have a voice on that as well, and make sure we're representing students. Unfortunately, this year they decided that their #1 priority in the legislature was faculty and staff pay increases, and that's something that I cannot agree with, and so that was an opportunity to sort of stand up for the students of UNLV outside of NSA when we can't work on something together.
All right. Heather? I'll ask the next one.
Gentlemen, I wanted to ask, and this is to both of you, how much money would you prefer to be allocated towards both scholarships and items for entertainment? Mark, do you want to start?
Yeah, sure. Well, you know, when I was elected last year, we gave out about $200,000 worth of scholarships a year, and I increased that to $250,000. So we increased it $50,000. And we created a summer scholarship, which had never existed before in CSUN, a non-traditional student scholarship. We also passed a textbook scholarship and a research and development scholarship, and currently I'm working on a veterans and active duty military scholarship. But I have to say that, when you're looking at $250,000 of a $1 million budget or a $1.2 million budget, I think, you do have to draw a line, and I think that's an acceptable line. Because if we're taking money from you and you and you and saying, okay, we take your money, make it harder for you to afford education by taking your money, but we're going to give it to this person, we need to make sure that we're responsible in the level of funding that we do that with. And so I think $250,000 is good. As far as entertainment goes, in the past, we actually increased the entertainment budget as well this year, so we've been able to do more than in the past. But we also combined campus life and entertainment together into one position, because I do think that all entertainment on campus is campus life. And so we have those under one header now with a bigger budget, and we were able to do more this year. Everything from bringing back buses to home football games, to doing a second Rebel road trip to cheer on the Rebels on the road. We don't normally do two, so we were able to do more with what we had.
Cool.
Addressing the scholarships first, the $250,000 is about as high as the scholarship should go. If we're taking it from so many students and very few students are being able to receive the scholarships, well, not very few, but with the small number of applicants we've had in the past applying for it, I don't know that we can give much more CSUN money that's coming from the entire student body to such a select pool of students. So I believe $250,000 is the right line to draw for that. As far as entertainment and campus life, they go hand in hand. One's whatever's going to benefit each other, they're going to help each other out, play off each other for that. I'm a big proponent of entertainment and campus life all around, supporting anything to do with UNLV. So I like to see that budget as much as we can. I believe that CSUN's job is to better the time that all students at UNLV have, and you do that through campus life and entertainment, not through self-marketing and such like that. You market yourself through the entertainment and the campus life you provide.
Do you think that CSUN has provided that thus far?
They've provided a sort of entertainment. I don't know that it's been as good as it can be. I'm an assistant director for campus life, and so that's one of the things that we have worked on this year, is improving it in as many aspects as possible. But I still believe there's a lot of room for improvement to make it, like, every day at UNLV a better day, just where students enjoy coming here. And it's not a day where they come and get in their car and leave right after classes. It's a day where there's something going on campus. It gives them a reason to want to stay and be involved in their school rather than just commute and leave.
I would just like to add that, a year ago in fall, we received 58 applications for scholarships, and last fall we received almost 250.
We have to take a quick
so we've
time out.
improved that significantly.
We'll follow up on that on the other side of this break. We have to take a short break, but when we come back, let's follow up on the budget for entertainment. Stay with us.
Think you found every hazard out here today? Think again. The spot you missed could be a killer. That spot on your skin could be skin cancer. Fact is, if you're a man over 50, you're in a group most likely to develop skin cancer, including melanoma, the kind that kills one person every hour. 1 in 5 Americans is likely to develop a form of skin cancer during their lifetime. That's why your best shot is to check for a spot. It's easy. Follow through and check your skin. It could be the save of a lifetime. Go to spotskincancer.org to find out how. A message from the American Academy of Dermatology.
So many kids' activities today seem to leave out the activity part. New research tells us that just getting children to walk an extra 35 minutes a day could spare them the pain of thinning bones later in life. Encourage your kids to get up, get out, and get moving.
Hello. Hey, Grandma, how about another grape soda?
A public service message on building strong bones for kids from the Pediatric Orthopedic Society of North America and the American Academy of Orthopedic Surgeons.
All right, before the break, we were talking about the budgets for scholarships and entertainment, CSUN's budget for scholarships and entertainment. I wanted to follow up a little bit on what is the budget for entertainment right now, entertainment and campus life?
That's $125,000.
$125,000. And you also mentioned scholarships, that you have very few applicants. What can you guys do to increase the number of applicants, increase the awareness of CSUN scholarships?
Well, as Mark said, in this past year, it's gone up from 58 to over 250, and we're hoping to increase it again this year. The more the better, obviously. It's done by word of mouth. You do classroom speakings, you pass it around through that. I believe it's also able to be done just through more of a personal thing for students to, like for Mark or myself, when we're speaking, to make sure that all students know what is available. Because there's an internet or study abroad scholarship that most students don't know about. There's very different scholarships that would apply to a lot of students. If they have the know-how, they'd be able to get some sort of money to help them study.
Right, that they're already qualified and could
Yeah,
have
they're
that.
already qualified, and it just is taking the time to apply to get their name in there for the money.
Okay, did you have anything you'd like to add to that?
Yeah, sure. I mean, over the last year, we've actually increased our outreach to students, and so one of the things we did was we created a daily marketing table on campus. Rather than CSUN officials doing their office hours on the 3rd floor of the student union where no one can find them, we're now out where the students are, and so we talk about scholarships at our table, we talk about scholarships at all of our events, we make sure that people have those flyers in their hands, and we also work through social media. I mean, we've got 22,000 likes on our Facebook page, so that reaches a pretty large audience.
So you just really increased
So we just
visibility.
increased that awareness, and it's one of the things that I ran on, and it's something that's a promise that we've kept, and that you can never have enough awareness. There's a lot of students who just aren't paying attention, and so it's hard to reach some of those. But
That happens on
you
a
gotta
college
keep doing it.
campus sometimes.
Yeah,
Heather, you had a follow-up question about the entertainment.
I just want to know basically where does the money come from, and if you do want to, if either of you have any plans to increase the budget for entertainment, let's say, where is that money coming from?
Sure. I think it's your turn.
Okay, well, the budget for CSUN comes from students, from themselves. Every credit you take, you get $2.47 given to CSUN to put into the budget, which is then distributed amongst the different categories and how we're going to spend it. I believe he said campus life and entertainment's a $125,000 budget, but they're able to pull from other budgets and we have the, I believe it's the investment fund, that it's what Savannah Baltera called it, where it's where we got the money for the Wi-Fi. There's money that you are able to take and spend on things if it's going to benefit the entire student body. However, for the concert, there's a concert that just passed Senate Monday night for 10 to 9. I believe it was a $100,000 budget that was approved, and it didn't all come from campus life. It's just grabbed from each other and spent on what's going to benefit everything.
So you would like to increase the budget, and that's
Yes, I would like to increase the entertainment and campus life budget because I believe that's the best way for CSUN to market itself, and it's the best way for UNLV students to enjoy their time here.
Yeah, I mean, well, to have any one budget be 10% of our total budget is pretty significant because there's a lot of other things we do. We buy free Scantrons and exam books. We spend money on our elections. We spend money marketing CSUN, giveaways that students love to have, whether it's pencils and pens or calculators or water bottles, you name it, but it gets our name out and helps increase that awareness so that people are aware of what we're doing. Cole brings up the investment account. It should be mentioned that the concert did pass completely out of the campus life and entertainment budget. It wasn't used, we didn't use any other budgets because those budgets go to other things. And the investment account is essentially, it's just an interest-bearing account, and it's money left over from previous editions of CSUN. If there's money left at the end of the year, it rolls into that account. And so that's a good place to go when you're going to spend $500,000 finishing the Wi-Fi on campus, like we passed this year. Very proud of that. But it's not something you would go to spend money on students this year because they've paid those fees and it should be spent on them while they're here. And the rollover money should be saved for capital improvement projects, like when we built the crosswalk across Maryland Parkway.
We have to take another short break. When we come back, I'm going to ask if that is a yes or a no for increasing the budget. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
If you could see anything in the world, what would it be?
I'd love to see Paris. I like to see cupcakes falling from the sky.
My daughter, married and happy.
I want to see things the way I used to.
Chances are, someone you love may one day be affected by macular degeneration or glaucoma. Log on to seeabettertomorrow.org or call 1-800-437-2423 to learn about glaucoma and macular degeneration. Call 1-800-437-2423 or log on to seeabettertomorrow.org.
I just want to see more of the things I love.
I remember the moment.
I'll never forget that moment.
That moment?
It was a moment that changed my life. I'd been training with my team for months, and now we had been called up for the first time. The real deal. Wildfires were getting dangerously close to homes. At that moment, I got my first taste of just how important the Guard is to my community.
See how the Guard can be an important part of your life at NationalGuard.com.
Very briefly, before the break, we were talking about increasing or not increasing the entertainment budget. Yes or no, is that something that you are in favor of or not in favor of?
I'm in favor of it if we can come up with a plan for entertainment events throughout the year that warrants more money. But if we're just increasing the budget for the sake of increasing the budget, we have to understand that it's coming out of Nevada Student Affairs, it's coming out of operations, it's coming out of, it wouldn't come out of scholarships.
So you would need to see a good reason.
But yeah, I mean, it's a zero-sum game. You're taking it from somewhere, and so you need to make sure that that's where it needs to go.
All right. Cassidy, you have a question, a big hot topic for all of us here. Go ahead.
So in recent developments, our parking lot next to the Greenspan building has now been taken away for a transit center for UNLV. My question is to both of you guys. Do you guys have any short-term parking solutions?
Sure. So here's what I'll say on that. The transit center was something I learned about last year and fought almost immediately upon taking office, but was told that it had been in the works for a couple of years. There wasn't anything we could do. It's a partnership with RTC and the federal government for the money to build it, and it was done. And so we went to work on some other things that we could change. And over the last year, it's important to note that we fought to keep parking rates the same until 2015. Which I think is huge. You guys will probably be gone by then, so that'll be good. We also got, they were tossing around the idea of having weekend parking enforcement, and we were able to stop that. And we're also looking at potentially increasing the number of student spots in lots like the one behind the library. So those are things we can actually impact. There's a lot of ideas being thrown at election time of, we'll have, you don't have to have a permit to park in staff parking after 5 or 7 or, all of this, or we'll get rid of metered parking, or last year it was let's get rid of staff parking. There's a lot of promises that get made, but they're not realistic. You have to be realistic, and I think the things that we've done have made parking better. We need to continue to work on those things, but the transit center is a bad idea.
Yeah, transit center is a horrible idea. I don't see it benefiting the majority of UNLV students. It's going to benefit very few, if any, it'll benefit some students. There are students who are going to take the bus to UNLV, but the majority of us are losing 100 spots that are in close parking to where we all have classes. We all have classes in FTH or BH, especially if we're starting off school, especially my college. We're in the business college, and it's a very good parking spot for all of us to be able to get to and go to class. So yeah, I would fight for that still, even though there's nothing to do. That's just something that you voice your opinion on to make sure that you have a strong standpoint on that and other people aren't going to come and try and push you around on parking. In short-term solutions, it's very difficult to do anything. Parking committee is very for more staff spots and student spots. They'll argue that as much as they can. One of the things that Mark mentioned is behind the library. Those spots are very rarely filled by staff or the meter spots anyway, so I believe that is one spot that we would have some sort of push that we could attempt to get done, and so that would be my big attempt at short-term solutions would be to gain as many student spots behind the library as possible.
And that's already in the works, but it's important to note too that the plan is to build 9 parking garages on campus as part of UNLV's master plan. So parking is essentially fixed. It's just not going to be fixed while we're here, which is unfortunate for all of us. But at the same time, that also means there's less we can really do to affect things.
So are there
because there is a plan.
Are there any realistic short-term solutions?
Just the ones that I think
Yeah.
we agree on, but
Just
we've been
the
working on
just
for
the
the
library
last year.
parking.
Well, and keeping parking rates low until 2015. Yeah, I mean, that's huge for students. The parking rate hasn't gone up since 2009.
Yeah.
So you have 6 years of a stable parking rate. That's good. I mean, imagine if we're losing spaces for the transit center and now we're going to jack up your permit fees. That would be unacceptable, and I think the parking department's got that message.
That would be great if they would have made those parking garages maybe before they took away
What a
your
novel
special lot.
concept.
Yeah, but that's, yeah.
Okay, we're getting really close to taking another break. When we come back, Heather, you got dibs on these guys.
Right.
So stay with us. We'll cover more of this debate right on the other side of this break.
She passed away about 6 months ago. Sure, yeah, they miss their mom. It was hard to learn that there was no cure. You know, you don't want to see somebody that you love suffer. So we sought hospice care. The hospice people made her feel comfortable and pain-free. At first, the girls didn't know what was going on. The girls knew that Mommy was sick, that Mommy wasn't feeling well, but they didn't know that Mommy was going to die. I don't always have the answers, the best answers to the questions that they're going to ask about what's going on, and often the hospice people would be there, and they helped. You know, they helped me and the girls through just an incredibly hard time.
At what age is the color that your skin was meant to be no longer beautiful? Every year, millions of young women try to change the skin they were born with and say they die for darker skin. Sadly, some actually do. Melanoma is the second most common cancer in teens and young adults, and one person dies from melanoma every hour. Change your thinking, not your skin. Stop tanning. Learn more at spotskincancer.org. A message from the American Academy of Dermatology.
Welcome back. We are having a debate of our own here during the break. Heather, I'm going to leave this one up to you.
All right. Well, I guess right before the break, you had just brought up the CSUN fee, so have at it.
Well, you know, it's $2.47 per credit from every student. It makes up a $1.2 million budget. The administration prior to ours ran CSUN pretty well. Even our harshest critics would say it was run well then, right, for $850,000. And so if we only need $850,000 to run CSUN, why are we taking $1.2 million? And so CSUN has now passed a constitutional change that would lower the fee to $1.97, saving students about $250,000, and having about $1 million budget.
And CSUN would still be able to run. Is that something that you agree with, Paul?
Two-sided to it. As far as saving students money, I'm for whatever's going to save students money. However, this is going to save students $11 to $20 a year, depending on how many credits they're taking. Whereas if we do collect that money, there are a lot more opportunities we have that we can benefit students with, whether it is large on-campus events or overall campus improvements to benefit everybody. So in a way, I am for it because I do support saving students money in any way. But for such a miniature amount of money that we save, when we could provide students lunch for that amount of money that we're saving them, I believe that we can do better money with the money that we would be saving for ourselves rather than cutting the budget.
Okay, so that's exactly disagreement there.
But that's exactly what people say when they want to raise it by a couple dollars. It's not that much, and plus we could do more if we had more money.
We've got just a few minutes left. I want to take these last few minutes to ask each of you, why should someone vote for you? Cole, I'll let you go first.
I would vote for me because of the things that I believe we can get done as a student body. I believe that with me in office, the campus life and the time you will have as a student at UNLV, your experience will be better. It's something that you will look back on and be able to say, wow, I really enjoyed those things that happened at UNLV in my time, as opposed to like, yeah, I got my degree, but I don't have those stories from things that were put on campus, those memories that I was able to create, the people that I was able to meet because of the events that were hosted by CSUN.
So you really want to build a sense of community here.
I do want to build a sense of community.
Mark, why should someone
Sure,
vote
well,
for
you know, I've long said that being student body president is more than campus life. We have a position for campus life. It's called Director of Campus Life. Cole currently works for me as Assistant Director of Campus Life, and so if there should be more campus life, someone needs to ask Cole why there isn't, because that's his job in CSUN. Over the last year, I've put in 60 hours a week in this job, and what we've done is save students $250,000, stop a $6 per credit fee increase, stop mandatory health insurance as a condition of enrollment, increase scholarships, create the 4 scholarships that I told you about. We've improved campus life by bringing back the buses to home football games, 2 Rebel road trips, football San Diego in the fall, Reno in the spring for basketball. We have touched on almost all of these issues. We passed campus-wide Wi-Fi, $500,000 proposal without a single dollar of student fees from this year. We have done a good job for students this year. We would like to continue doing that job. And if we agree on almost every issue, you might as well go with the person who's been doing it for the last year.
He said all that without any notes. So you are running on your record.
I am running on my record.
It's up to the students to decide. We have to take another short break, and we'll wrap up our debate on the other side. Stay with us.
Think you found every hazard out here today? Think again. The spot you missed could be a killer. That spot on your skin could be skin cancer. Fact is, if you're a man over 50, you're in a group most likely to develop skin cancer, including melanoma, the kind that kills 1 person every hour. 1 in 5 Americans is likely to develop a form of skin cancer during their lifetime. That's why your best shot is to check for a spot. It's easy. Follow through and check your skin. It could be the save of a lifetime. Go to spotskincancer.org to find out how. A message from the American Academy of Dermatology.
So many kids' activities today seem to leave out the activity part. New research tells us that just getting children to walk an extra 35 minutes a day could spare them the pain of thinning bones later in life. Encourage your kids to get up, get out, and get moving.
Hello. Hey, Grandma, how about another grape soda?
A public service message on building strong bones for kids from the Pediatric Orthopedic Society of North America and the American Academy of Orthopedic Surgeons.
Welcome back. So it's voting time right around the corner. Cole, very quickly tell us, how can people vote?
Okay, well, voting will be on April 3rd and 4th. You'll be able to vote in any spot on campus. There will be booths all over the place. And then also online at My UNLV, you'll log in and it'll take you to the UNLV Involvement Center and you'll be able to vote there.
Simple as
And
that.
all the debates will be up on our Facebook page.
Oh, that's even more exciting.
Facebook.com/UNLV-CSUN.
Well said, sir. Well said. All right, well, I want to thank you both for being on the show, taking the time to be with us. Cassidy and Heather, thank you very much for asking some good questions for our student body. And now it's time to ask you, what would you like us to scramble about? Send us your topics or questions to thescramble.unlv@gmail.com. And you can also watch full episodes of The Scramble from this season and seasons past at UNLV-TV. So thank you all for being with us, and for everyone here at The Scramble, we hope that you'll join us next time. Have a good night.